is not that bad. It's
All views expressed by the hosts and guests in this podcast are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of their respective employers. Guests and hosts may maintain positions in the assets discussed in this podcast. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and nothing in the podcast is intended to be financial, legal, or even life advice.
All right, we are live and alive. It's nice to meet you, by the way, Duo and Greg.
Nice to meet you.
And it's been a crazy morning.
Yeah. We start with like a rapid fire questions. Okay.
That's good.
The first question: Hyperliquid or lighter?
We'll just, Greg. Let's count down like 3, 2, 1, and we both say what we think.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Hyperliquid.
Lighter.
Oh.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
All right. A follow-up question is: what aspect were you thinking when you say, like, when I asked you Hyperliquid or lighter? Is it from token, ecosystem? What about you?
I think lighter with a big caveat if they survive the next couple of years. That's it.
Ooh. Oh, okay, that's an interesting one.
It's more like the catch-up trade, right?
Yeah.
I think we'll unpack that later.
Yeah. It's, I mean, they have a very, very aggressive business model with the whole zero fees, right? Like, I myself, I look at that and I think, okay, that's interesting, that's bold, like, and retail seems to like it. It survives during a bull run, sure, but like, does that same model get the bills paid, keep everyone interested during a bear market? And if it lives through that, then I'm pretty bullish.
Makes sense.
All right. The next question is the Perp DEX battle over?
I think not at all. I think it's definitely grown a lot, and it's become a lot more sophisticated over the past year and a half. It was close to 2 years now, but it's only starting. I think that more and more will come, definitely. And right now we do have like a bunch of contenders, some better than others. But I think that the perfection in the Perp DEX scene is yet far from a reality, and there's still a lot of innovation, and the overall user experience and customer journey for retail is just, I guess, a bit, compared to centralized exchanges and other protocols, is a bit primitive and has a lot of improvement to be made. So no, there's still a while to go. I think it's a matter of who does it best and who innovates and adds more value at the end of the day. But no, it's not over at all.
I think it's good to like think in really long timelines for stuff like this. So like it could very well be that the first battle of all of the Perp DEXs is drawing to a close, but the war has only just started, right? And the war doesn't end until because ultimately, like, just if we think about Game of Thrones, like right now the Perp DEX is fighting it out. It's kind of like the smaller kingdoms having a go at each other. We still gotta beat the White Walkers.
Oh, he's still gonna be the White Walkers. Okay, makes sense.
Our centralized exchange is White Walkers. All right. Is the DeFi bottomed right now? Do you think DeFi is bottom right now? Like
do
DeFi
you think,
tokens?
Like sentiment-wise, like all of that in tokens, it is.
No. I like, I don't know. For me, like, whenever I'm bullish, the markets end up pumping way more than I think it will, and then whenever I'm bearish, it goes down way more than I think it will. I learned that the hard way 3-4 years ago. So I'm going to go on a limb and say no, we're nowhere near.
What's the best TGE in 2025?
2025.
5. Fuck, that's a hard one.
There's been a few.
All right, that said it all. All right, that said it all already. To be very honest with you,
Yeah.
I think we did not have a good year.
There's a small chance that it hasn't happened yet, but there's also I don't know. I'm actually betting on the big TGs happening at the beginning of next year.
which are.
I mean, lighter is a huge one, right? Like, I think there's a lot of
Man
anticipation.
got a lot of lighter points because like he's been shilling it non-stop.
No, I'm not.
Maybe Pacifica 2026. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, all right. No, thanks for the rapid fire, Lambro. I think just to set the stage, let's take a step back a bit. I guess we mostly want to start so that our audience knows a bit more about the background. Like what is Pacifica? Like how did it even like came to be? Like if you can just tell a bit more of the backstory.
Greg, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So, hey everyone. So a bit more about Pacifica. We are a hybrid Perp DEX that started building earlier this year in January. So it's been 11 months, well, just about 11 months now that we've been building. Started with, we're a team of 12 people, started building earlier in January. 3 months into cranking everything out, we got our testing it out, 2 months of testing and grinding away where we improved our product overall and launched our mainnet. And now we've been live on mainnet for just under 6 months, over 33,000 users trading, over $1 billion in traded volume average every day, growing all over the world with a pretty good team with a lot of experience from FTX, Binance, Coinbase, ByteDance, OpenAI, Goldman Sachs, James Street, Fidelity, and so much more. We are an exchange that deposits and withdrawals go through Solana. We're hybrid in the way that our matching engine is off-chain on our own server. And we do have a pretty extensive roadmap ahead, which I guess we'll cover in a bit more detail later. But yeah, that's a quick brief intro about us.
Got it. Thanks, man. I'm gonna like right away follow up. I guess like if there are users who are like so confused because there are so many perp DEXs these days, like what are the 1 or 2 things that you would say, oh, we are different because of this?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and I guess it's the right question to ask from a user's perspective. And I think that for a lot of perp DEXs that have been out and building for 2, 3, 4 years even, it's very easy to point at certain things which they define as their correct product market fit. For us, it's a different scenario because we are a relatively early project, which technically has only been live for about 5 months. And we've been able to accomplish things that others take years to do in such a small amount of time. And I think at this stage, Pacifica's edge is that, we are very, very responsive to all this user feedback that we get. And for a user to be able to come to us and tell us that they want to see something and to be seeing it on the exchange within a day or two is probably one of the bigger things. We are very responsive towards feedback. We're very fast on shipping constantly. But what I guess where I want to get at is, it's still pretty early for us, and we are still developing a lot of things in our customer, like the roadmap. So it's once all these things are put together that the whole product market fit and unique selling point will be built together with a combination of all these things. But from my perspective, I think it's our team that's the real differentiator here, and also our ability to ship very fast and bring all these things that the users want to the platform, and be very responsive, because we aren't just building and shipping something and then working on it later on. We are building something truly based on traders' opinions and users' opinions as we go. So I guess that's the primary thing here. And of course, as we go, we'll be building many things. We've just launched a bit more information about our roadmap a few days ago. So there we go into a lot more detail about all the things that we will be putting together in this financial system that we're constructing that will lead to that obvious unique selling point, in my opinion.
Yeah, and just sort of like building on that, as so for me, I always think of like looking at early projects from the perspective of a farmer, like a little bit of lore from my end was that that this year I originally planned on just fully farming for the year, but I bumped into the Pacifica team at the beginning of the year, and yeah, everything just looked way too cracked for me to not take a swing at it. So thanks Pacifica for saving me from the trenches. But like from that perspective, it really is like when you see that a project that only shipped a few months ago, their mainnet be able to basically like have parity and stand toe to toe with all of these big guys that have sort of built for the last 2-3 years and have this sort of incredible amount of growth and attention. That's a pretty damn good litmus test for its future success, right? But because I mean, you know, like you give me a 6-year-old who can run 100 meters in 12 seconds versus like a 12-year-old, 18-year-old who can run that in 12 seconds. You know, my money's on the 6-year-old for in a couple of years' time. So that's just like my take right now. You know, we are young, we are building. And yeah, I think that especially if things cool down a lot and the timeline drags on a little bit more for every single project, I think then we'll really sort of see Pacifica coming ahead on a lot of these things that only shows with time, that only shows like the quality shows after the noise disappears.
Okay, jumping in a little bit, like I'm a full-time farmer as well, basically. So like, what if I haven't started using Pacifica other than start playing with two trades.
Come on,
I only used 2-3 trades to test it out when you guys first launched. Convince me, bro. Like, tell me, why is this a perk that's not as a Pacifica guy, but as just a retail users that is like, because the thing is, I can't manage Hyperliquid, Lighter, EdgeX. I can't manage that many places. Like, I don't have that much money to trade on that many places, like, directionally, you know?
I think. Okay, so for me, like, from farmer to farmer, it's like whenever I try a product, I usually just do a gut check, like number one, like, is it shit? Because if it is, right, like
you're just early.
You're either early or it's like, or no amount of like hype is gonna rescue it. Like, not naming names, but like, there are. In your best airdrop of 2025 question, there were a couple of airdrops this year. I'm like, okay, yeah, like no amount of extra time is going to save this thing, given the information.
I agree with you. Let me give you a room to show. What do you think have changed and improved past 3 months a lot within Pacifica?
Oh, past 3 months. I would say liquidity.
Liquidity. Okay.
Yeah. We have our books have gotten hella thick, and yeah, like I would say that's the main improvement, because it's always chicken and egg. So like the retail come, and then the institutions and the market makers they FOMO in, they integrate, and they've like finally sort of like come in and start doing their job. And yeah,
with a lot of like on-chain users, they feel the need to have some Ponziness or some unique selling point, like the variational one where the loser guy gets a little bit more money back or something like that. Do you think it's actually required for as a perk DEX? Do you need a unique selling point?
I think the unique selling point is something that, in our case, for example, the product where it is now is nowhere near where it's going to be. So it's very hard for us to like show you exactly what it's going to look like. I think more than a specific unique selling point, a lot of people, besides farmers, which are eager to try everything that comes out, right? Trade on one place, they like it, they're used to it, they don't want change, and they will probably stick to whichever exchange they're used to until there's like a very important reason for them to change. And I think building something that is both user-friendly, not only for the retail side, but also for the institutional side, as well as for that fine line in between of retail, which also wants to venture into, a bit more complicated stuff or more complex trading strategies, is at the end of the day what will also win, because it opens the possibilities and the options that the trader has at the end of the day. The more things a person can do on the exchange, the more power you bring to the user. And this isn't only talking about order types or anything like that, or scale orders, things like that. I'm talking about everything from borrow lending, multi-collateral, copy trading, vaults, PVP, whatever else you can think of. At the end of the day, putting all these things together is what will make the user, make your product better at the end of the day. And it is not only about what Ponzi or what thing or what incentive you have going on. You need to make sure that the incentives that you are giving out are sustainable at the end of the day. I think points programs, for example, are one of the best ways to incentivize users to your platform. Is very proportional, and you make sure that the value is being added there for them to receive those points. But it does get very toxic at the moment. There are a lot of exchanges, and like you said as well, right? You trade here, and there. Why would I move my capital from one place to the other when I'm already farming 10 other DEXs? So yeah, I'm excited to see how the actual TGE of all these other exchanges are going to play out, because I think it's also going to be a pretty determining factor in terms of, is the points meta still alive, both for the users and the protocols. But I guess at the end of the day, I think whoever has a more well-rounded product, at the end of the day, exchanges are offering liquidity. That's the core product there, right? And execution. Whoever has the best in all those aspects would win. But regardless, I do think there's a lot of space for a lot of players. I don't think it's a game of there can only be one.
Yeah, and also just sort of like adding on to that, like the first kind of question I'd like to ask, like it's kind of rhetorical, but like if we look at the big daddy of Perp DEXs, Hyperliquid, like what's your unique selling point?
I can actually jump in on that. So like they have a more transparent book, in my opinion. I started off with them. So I started using Hyperliquid because of the HLP actually.
Yeah.
I started using HLP. Then they listed things a lot more quicker, and then it is the first on-chain perk that I end up enjoying. So that's how I started. But like the unique selling point for me at the start was a HLP, and then for Lighter was that because it was 0 fee, and Edgic was because that I've been traveling for the past few months, and then I don't like any of the mobile trading experience. And for me, it was like good mobile experience, not that bad of a liquidity, and I can get points on top. If not, I majorly use Bybit actually. I mostly use Bybit.
Yeah. So I think like you hit the nail on the head with Hyperliquid, was that eventually it just turned out to be a really good exchange, right? Like that. And I think that's the sort of the end state that every single Perp DEX is trying to race towards, because in order to like once all of this Ponzi and stuff whatnot is sort of discarded, once you're done with that, you need to have a sort of like a solid product, because by mentioning the word Ponzi, we are inherently implying that it's not something that lasts forever, right? And yeah, so it's sort of like, okay, at the end of this, at this like points program, or you can call it whatever cycle, the product that comes out of it needs to be ready, needs to be able to hold a candle. But because if it doesn't, then like you rightly said, we may as well just go back to using sexes. So yeah, and also just as a sort of like another sort of like farmer game theorist side of me is, for us as the earliest project, we have the lowest sort of, I guess, airdrop expectation, in the sense that no one is pushing us to airdrop anytime soon. We're self-funded, and we just started building this year. Whereas many other Perp DEXs, their airdrops, well, they can have to. They've been building for years, running the program for years, and yeah, like a lot of people are trying to sort of catch the end of the cycle in order to TGE. So once everyone has TGE'd and got their tokens and gotten some of their stables back, where's that money going to go? That's a very good question. So yeah, like I think if we were to sort of game out all these airdrops, in a way, it's the last TGE wins, and yeah, we're in a good place for that.
Nice. Do you mind if I jump into a little bit more details on different Perp DEXs mechanics, because I just want to kind of learn more?
When you say mechanics, like how do you mean?
So like, is Lighter sustainable without fees and just making money on APIs?
That's a damn good question. It is the $1 billion question, right? Because okay. You know, like we at Pacifica, we have plenty of pressure to, you know, from users say, oh, there's exchanges with 0 fees and a points program, and they pay you money back, and we're like, well, okay, you know, like it's
yeah.
like
magic
okay,
into that money.
If
Yeah.
I would stay there a little bit, but I wouldn't stay there for that long. So like for me,
you would just stay because it's the points, right? Yeah.
No. I don't even, like, to be honest, I'm not like an aggressive points farmer. It's more like I'm not as aggressive as before. So it's more like I move my money there. If it's good enough, I'll kind of stay there. And then Lighter, some pairs, they don't really have it. Their funding rate has been weird in general compared to other DEXs or perks or SECs. It's just that my money, their Lighter, their LLP performing good. So I was like, I might as well trade there so I can earn that 30 to 40% yield. And then because I only have like 75%, I can only put 75% of my money in the whole perk. So like I have 25%, I got nothing to do. I might as well do some hedging there or some directional trading there, etc. But yeah, like that's what I mean by, like, in my opinion, most people that are not that big of a size, let's say if you only trade like, let me, 1 to 5 mil a month or so, the order book doesn't really matter that much in some sense. And then and you kind of need a unique selling point through, like, can be a very good mobile app, can be cost collateral that's yield bearing, can be like I don't know, like points as a unique selling point, like something for me to go there. Because if not, I would just stuck with Bybit forever, to be honest.
I mean, we look at so much data, and actually, as of this past week, we've started to ramp up a lot on our data analytics, because there's a lot of data. Obviously, volume is something that's very important. We want to make sure that those sustain properly. If those volumes are going down, try to understand why. Obviously, for specific dates, it's understandable. There's macro events that happen. Obviously, then you also want to look into the, I guess, micro events within the actual exchange. You know, maybe someone got liquidated and then decided to drop off. So there's always, generally speaking, there's always an explanation for volume fluctuations. That's for one. You know, TVL is also important. User count is also very important, of course. I guess it's one of the, I don't want to say golden, but one of the big metrics that we look at for the growth of the platform in general. More users doesn't necessarily mean more volume, but still it's something that we look at. But I think specifically talking about data analytics here, we're starting to ramp up a lot in terms of finding and determining more of this micro information within the actual exchange to get a better understanding on user behavior, because at the end of the day, in our go-to-market strategy, this is what really helps us understand who we're actually targeting these campaigns towards, because there's also a lot of efforts that we put towards the growth of the platform. And it's best to find out who each kind of incentive is working for. But of course, you know, for growth in general, you're not only looking at what's going on and what you can do, but you're looking at the whole customer journey map from the moment of activation to the moment of re-engagement if that person drops off, like I mentioned. So you need to make sure that there's always stuff happening in all of these steps, but that there's also analytics happening at all of these steps to make sure and understand as well when things are happening. Duo actually might have something pretty interesting to mention at the end of live. That could be very interesting. It's just about this exact thing that we're talking about. We'll mention the details later on.
And also just on the metrics side of things, I would say that like at the end of the day, as an exchange, your number one indicator should be volume. Now, I put a huge asterisk on this once again because people know that, and the problem is volume is very, very easy to fake. And also when you're comparing an exchange that charges fees to an exchange that doesn't charge fees, it's completely apples and oranges. So I think internally, like if you were to sort of compare volumes, so for example, for us, just sharing a little bit of our own internal benchmarking process, is we look at our volume relative to that of Hyperliquid and that of Binance's to see how well we're doing. So the reasoning for this is neither Hyperliquid nor Binance have like an incentive to just be, like print crazy volumes or have people wash trading there because they're not running an airdrop. And they're both exchanges that charge a similar amount of fees. And as long as you do volume,
relatively popularity,
yeah. So as long as you're looking at volume, but you compare apples to apples, that's a very meaningful comparison. So a lot of our analytics does go into just seeing, okay, this is our data, this is what meaning we should be drawing from the data, and also, for example, our points program is also, hey, like these are all our users, this is all our volumes, the data, but like which part of it is the most real, or the statistically most likely to be real, because we want to have those people involved.
Right, you want to compare it to like the entities that are not faking, or like not faking, but like doesn't have the incentive to extend the program. Yeah.
Exactly. Because
by the way, I noticed you guys don't have a LLP yet, or HLP or some sort. Is that because you guys run your own market making book, or you guys don't need people depositing in, or like how? Is there a particular reason why?
That's a very good question. So let's go back to the HLP. The HLP was conceived at a time when no one knew what the hell a Perp DEX was, and market makers were significantly less willing to provide liquidity to these exchanges, and especially altcoins. And it was sort of like a tool that they used to in order to bootstrap that liquidity as well as users with the points program. Now we're building 2 years down the line in a space where every single market maker is trying to get onto a Perp DEX. So when we sort of looked around, we were like, okay, there's no shortage of people that's much better at us than at providing that liquidity, right? Because we're not a team of professional traders. If we try to run a book and keep it as tight as it is on Pacifica, we get destroyed by all of the professional takers out there. So yeah, like and we just looked at the end state. We looked at the end state of Hyperliquid, which was, okay, the HLP did its job. It provided that early bootstrap liquidity. Now it's just chilling there. It's a backstop liquidator mostly, and it just makes like a few percent a year unless of crazy stuff. So yeah, we looked at that end state and we're like, okay, the market's a lot more mature. We can probably skip this middle state of bootstrapping that liquidity through the users and then doing things that are perhaps a little bit unfair and drive away market makers and institutions, and just sort of like embrace that final state, which is, yeah, like professional market makers provide liquidity for users to trade in, and yeah, we've managed to skip that middle step.
Okay, I like how long term you guys are planning this ahead, to be honest. Oof, sorry, 86k Bitcoin now.
Oh, that was a big red candle. Yeah, I just saw.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah, I was hoping to dive in a little bit more into your product today, but like we got a little bit. Yeah, I really enjoy these kind of talks. Like you guys are so real, sharing all the thought process and etc. But we're almost coming at time here. Just wondering, do you have any questions for us? I think Marco has to tap out, but yeah, I can continue.
I guess going back to, I want to hear your answer to the question that you asked before about, do you think a product needs, or like requires a USP, a bold USP, since you use Bybit as well? Like, I'd like to hear what that USP is of Bybit. And then follow-up question is, what do you think about the Perp DEX scene moving forward with all the TGs coming?
Okay. I started off as a Binance user. I actually still use Binance. Let me see how to phrase this. Okay, Bybit product improved a lot for the past 2 years. Their cross collateral, cross margin thing is pretty good. They were one of the first to integrate USDE as a collateral to trade as well, right? So that means if I were to do any funding rate hedge, or if I just want to hold a longer position, I can actually earn the funding rate while hedging some of my positions or actually directionally trading there. Also, it's a easier, it's VIP tier system. It's lower, where I can put amount that I feel comfortable to put in a centralized exchange, having a better fees in Binance. The reason why I kept so basically yield bearing, good UI, good enough mobile app experience. The VIP tier to reduce fees are good enough for me, so I do there. I still trade on Binance mainly because of listings, Binance Alpha points, because I still hold quite a bit of BNB, so a lot of like run-through stuff overall there. I recently reactivated my Coinbase just because of the Monet airdrop, and they look like they want to run something as well. I am not a hardcore short-term trader, so like it's always been one small feature, which can be access driven, or it can be TG or whatever. And once I put my money there, maybe I'll dabble a little bit more until I like it. I say Perp DEX product are all pretty similar. Mainly is the listing, mainly is the pairs available, and the overall funding rate comparing the two places. And then what do I think about the overall high overall Perp DEX, right? That's the next question.
Yeah. Like, what do you think is the outlook next month's year, in your perspective?
I think there's going to be a big reshuffle after lighter TGE, mainly because I'm skeptical on I think it's a good product. I like the LLP. I like the trades there. Funding rate is a little bit rigged, but I don't understand how sustainable can it be for not charging fees, right? Like I do want it to be the second Hyperliquid, but let's see how that goes. And if that doesn't turn out, I think Hyperliquid, Hyperliquid's biggest PMF is a good enough liquidity, more pairs, etc., low users, and on top of that, like people that need to not pay tax or whatever will trade in Hyperliquid, right? like that's a big unique selling point, like to be honest. And so the key is then is there someone else that can take this pie, and is this pie growing, right? And I don't know with there's no zero fee, is that sustainable? If not, then I don't think farmers is not something you can target sustainably, right? Like you mentioned, you can only fuck with them for like a year maximum, and then if that's your only users, that's it, right? But like you do need like people like me, which is like a 50% farmer, 50% real user kind of thing. Yeah. Then it's like you I don't know. Yeah. Overall, I think we're gonna have a reshuffle, maybe January or so. There's a few, like, let's see how edgex or will you guys perform. I'm looking closely. I don't like the variation model because I think it's Ponzi and is not maybe repeatable, but maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I haven't got this feeling of new things that might work ever since like Hyperliquid and Lighter yet, but But yeah, that's just my overall thought. Like, I'm still trying everything basically.
I just want to like add on maybe like a different perspective on how I'm looking at the landscape. I think by far when you ask about like USP and like all of that, I don't like. I think Lambro has a better answer on like as like a power user. But one thing that I notice is that the DNA of these successful perp sexes and the new DX are very different in the sense that the amount of like just like on the ground operations marketing in a typical, you know, like account managers, relationships manager, these guys, it's a completely different DNA than like the Perp DEXs team, right? And I feel like I don't know if like post all of the token mania, like Lambro said, right, if that is gonna sustain, right? Because like ultimately I think that you wanna branch more than like the 10,000 power users on CT, right? Which is like all of us here. And in order to do that, it's almost like you have to be, you know, like you have to do this. Like these CX almost look like conventional businesses. Like conglomerates all over the world are like trying to have their own CX in every part of jurisdiction, almost as if it's like a brokerage business, like 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like it's like starting to become like not a tech business, but a conventional business that like somebody with money, yeah, I'll just do this shit. Right? So like, I don't know how that would like affect in terms of like USP and like user acquisitions, like all of that. But I would say that's like by far to me like post TGE, like Lighter and like all of these people has to think about that. Like otherwise they're just gonna like fight for the same farmers, like Lambro said, and then it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like that's my biggest like maybe like I'm more of like a like high level like I'm not as in tune with like Lambro in terms of like the actual product for perps, but that's how I'm like looking at it right now. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think, Greg, if you guys want to appear to be ready, you guys should hire pretty girls, go to every single event, and then start like bringing users on board one by one.
Oh my
I'll be your
god.
biggest fan, bro. I'll be your biggest fan, bro. I don't need no points. I just need pretty girls.
You just need segments.
Greg and I like I keep saying we need more pretty girls. Greg's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's a
The community have spoken, bro. I'll do everything out of like okay. I won't move out of Lighter because like I still want my points, but like I'll move wherever somewhere else to come join as long as you guys have a pretty girl model that posts us like 2 times a day.
and not for me, Greg, but for the community.
Man. He's being so specific.
We'll think about it.
But hey, dude, I tried, man. I tried. I shoot my shot already, but yeah. Do you guys have any more questions after this?
Nothing from me. Not sure about Duo.
I think that I was a great chat, and I think just really like the big picture take that you had at the end there.
Yeah. All right. There's one question we asked everyone. Both of you will answer, which is, what do you think is required to make it in crypto?
You just have to have it. I don't know if you understand me, but you know, crypto is just 24/7, specifically for perps. Like exchanges is 24/7. A lot of determination, a lot of motivation to do this. You have to love it, and you just. I think it's one of the spaces where you can get more chances than anywhere else without actually having to show what you've done in the past, but actually show what you're made of. But you really need to show what you're made of, and you need to have it. You need to devote yourself to do this shit. You can't just. This is not a 9 to 5. This is actually something much more intense than a lot of people think. And I think, from my perspective, a lot of people see the idea of what we do, and then there's a very big bridge to cross between the idea and the interpretation of what this is like and the reality of it is. We are doing like crazy hours. We barely sleep. We travel a lot. We're very active, and there's a lot of underestimation of how much it actually takes to do anything. And this is from a Perp DEX perspective. I don't know how other projects are, but I'm assuming that, you know, if you're devoted, no matter what you're actually working on, you're working crazy hours, you're just putting it all into it. So I think you just need to have it, and you need to be motivated, devoted, and just go for it, do it. But you need to be all in.
Yeah, from my end, like from my end, everything Greg said, plus you gotta hire pretty girls.
You got hot. Fact. Good. I mean, if you look at it, right, like Binance has pretty girls, they made it. Like FTX had a lot of pretty girls, and they made it for a bit. all right, man. It's a wrap. Let's regroup again after Christmas or something. I'd love to hear more of your thoughts over other the perk decks, maybe after the lights of TGE.
Yeah, of course. Before we leave, just remembered. I'll let Duo. Duo,
Oh,
do
yes.
you wanna?
Yeah.
So before we were mentioning about the data that we track and yada yada. So I'm just gonna let Duo speak.
Yeah. So basically, like our tradition at Pacifica is every single time we go live somewhere, we have to like share a little something that no one else has heard of yet. So
Please. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, so as we can see, the markets have been shit lately, and to just to make everyone feel a little bit better, everyone who's been blown up since October, from October until now, get a nice little point boost for the month of December. It's our gift to everyone who's gotten wrecked. Lambro,
Christmas gift.
You.
I go back other place. Can I scan your screenshot? I'm joking.
Right.
No, I've been sitting on my head.
We do have a VIP program for your volume elsewhere if you want to facilitate the onboarding.
Like, can we stack the VIP program and the liquidation share Christmas? It's like Lambro's like a VIP at getting wrecked, you know. So
No, ever since I closed my Pengu shot, I've been sitting on hands for the past month, like literally, you said we can't sleep that much, right, bro? I just posted I slept for 9 hours randomly, like yesterday. Like I have the highest score in 4 years in crypto. Fucking hell, man! Like I've been so at peace. Like right now, I'm gonna have like 2 positions that is on perks, and then all the spots is if I die, I die. I don't really care. Like I've been so at peace, but like I'll be back after, I don't know, this week or something. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
All right.
It's definitely a lot of work, but we make it happen, and we all love it here. So, but thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
No, thank you, both of you. Yeah.
yeah,
See
all
you next
right,
time, guys. Take care.
awesome.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.